Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I present to you another LEGO creation. Now today's creation is the LEGO M16. Now most of you probably know that the M16 is basically the older brother of the M4 and the AR-15. Now this gun was first used in the Vietnam War. It was made to basically replace the current guns they were using. At the time they were using, I think, M14s, which are basically magazine fed M1 Garands. And well, they started to think that you could basically say assault rifles or battle rifle. I'm not particularly sure what category it is in, but they started to think that assault or battle rifles were chambered in 30 caliber weren't really practical for the area they were fighting in, which was in the jungles of Vietnam. So yeah, now this M16 is there are multiple variants of the M16. There's the M16A1, A2, A3, and A4. The A3 isn't really mentioned because it's basically a weaker version of the A4. So people don't really there isn't much change to it, so people don't really talk about it because it's basically the A4 but worse. So anyways, let's talk about this build. Now this is a familiar grip design, but I actually changed one thing. I started to think that the grip actually looked a bit weird. So instead of the top section here being 2 studs long, I changed it to 1 stud from the top to the bottom. But other than that, it's basically the same thing. Here we have the brick build trigger. I quite like it a lot, so I'm going to keep it. Now next off is the 20 round magazine. I think it was double stacked. Yeah, probably. Guns in that era were probably already equipped with double stacked magazines. This is just 20 rounds of 5.56 NATO. So yeah, not much here. The indents, I used the same technique as I used in my, what gun was it? Oh, I didn't use it on the Scar. The same technique that I used on my op. So here's the bullet on top design. Somehow it's working again, so I don't know. Yeah, that's about it for the magazine. We'll put that aside. Now we'll move on to the upper receiver. We're basically done with the lower receiver. Now I did use we're still gonna talk about the lower receiver, mainly the magazine. Well, I used a similar design, or you could say technique, to the one I used on my Scar, but this time I used a different piece. I used these ones instead of the other ones. I could grab it right now to show you from my parts bin if I can find it. So I used these on my Scar, but I used these instead for the M16 because I thought, well, those were way too thick, so these look better to me. Now this could probably be the biggest gun I have built. Maybe not biggest, but the one that used the most parts. I'm pretty sure the op is bigger, but I used way more parts in this build than the op. I'm pretty sure because my parts bins are basically almost empty, except for the ones at the bottom. As you can see, I can show you some of the parts. These here, it's almost empty. I used a lot of bracket pieces on this build. Actually, you can see there's already a shit ton of bracket pieces here. There are some bracket pieces on the dust cover. So yeah, the dust cover just basically works like that. It covers the thing up. Now, some of you may not know what this part here does. It's basically present on every AR platform gun. It's a forward assist, and what the forward assist does is when the bolt doesn't return to this position completely, you can press on it and it has a mechanism that lets the bolt move forward correctly if it malfunctions. So yeah, here we have the Handguard. I tried to go with something similar to my different usernames Handguard, but I ran into one problem, which was I kinda already started to run out of parts to use. So this is something else I came up with. So yeah, nothing special, but it's comfortable and I like it. So yeah, here we have the what the hell is it called again? The sling mount. Basically a sling, something you can mount a sling onto, and you can basically wear the gun like a backpack. Now here is a bayonet lug. Unfortunately, I did not build a bayonet. Well, I kinda did, but the bayonet wasn't up to scale with the gun, so I decided to scrap it. So yeah. Next off is the stock. Now the stock isn't particularly detailed. I'll swivel the camera over there. So yeah, here is the other sling mount. So yeah, this thing here is the brass deflector, and what it does is, well, it's already in the name, deflects brass. Now we'll move on to the final thing, which is the top. Now, remember one time on my M4 video that I said that would be my final rendition of a AR platform gun? Well, I kinda lied, so I made this instead. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to stop making AR platform guns unless there's something new, or I don't know, because I don't particularly like building AR platform guns. Now I like AR platform guns, but I don't like building them in Lego, mainly because of how the handguard or the barrel is connected to the receiver on Lego. Now you of course have to make room for the bolt and the charging handle, so that only leaves you with two studs of space here to connect the handguard and barrel to the receiver, which makes it very easy to break if the handguard and barrel is way too heavy. It'll basically, this section here will move down like this, and this section will go up like that, and the barrel will fall down and chaos ensues. Now, enough of that, we'll talk about the carry handle. So yeah, nothing special, it's just a M4 carry handle, but I would not really carry it with my own hands, because of course this would happen. It's already bending, so yeah. Here is the charging handle. Hopefully my gun doesn't break. Alright, so far so good. So you can pull it back and the bolt goes back as well, and if you let go, it goes as well. Now I'll show you the other side. This gun is way too long for me. Or either I have short arms, I don't know. I'm probably too tiny for this gun. Okay, next off you have the fire selector here. Yes, I finally remembered to add a fire selector. Now I'm going to try to make my guns as detailed as possible by adding moving parts like these. So I'll try to remember to put to build a fire selector on my future guns, because I keep forgetting to do that. But anyways, here is the mag release on the other side. It works like basically every AR platform magazine release. And this is the bolt catch. Now hopefully the handguard doesn't break under pressure. I'm going to try to show you. So basically you pull this back and you pull this out a little bit and push it back forward, and I'll flip it to the other side to show you the bolt catch working. Now if I'm going to push it down now, and it releases. So yeah, that's basically about it for the gun. So for those who have stayed until this section of the video, I'm going to talk about some facts about the M16, because I know some of you get bored by the facts, so I'm going to try to put that at the back. So as I said earlier in the video, this gun is chambered in 5.56 NATO, as basically every other AR platform gun. Now, the M16 was unveiled in the Vietnam War, but this gun kinda had a rocky start, or bumpy start, you could say. It's what's the word again? Its reputation, yes, its reputation wasn't really good at the start, because, well, the soldiers found a lot of issues with the oldest version, mainly because of the gun not handling itself well in the jungle because of the humid weather and stuff. Now, one fact about the AR platform, some of you might know that the AR platform requires regular cleaning. Now what that means is you basically have to clean it more than other guns. Now, this isn't a debate about the AK being better or anything, I'm just stating facts. Now, of course the AK has its flaws, but in a different way. Now, as most assault rifles are, or any automatic, even semi-auto in that matter, that are firing higher energy cartridges, they are gas operated. Now what gas operation means, basically when the round fires, there's excess gas, and the excess gas pushes the bolt back. Now how the gas operation system works on the AR platform is quite different from the AK, but still a bit similar, I guess. Now the AK and the SCAR and most other gas operated guns are piston operated. Now what piston basically means, there's a long rod connected to the bolt, and the piston resides in the top section of the barrel, and there is a gas block near the end of the barrel that lets the excess gas go into the gas chamber, the gas tube, and the gas in the gas tube pushes the I keep forgetting my words, sorry about that. It pushes the bolt, not the bolt, yeah it does, but it pushes the piston first, and then the piston pushes the bolt. Now how the AR-15 works, how the AR-15, not AR-15, the AR platform gas system, yes, how it works is one of the reasons why you have to clean it way more than other guns, is because it doesn't use a piston. It uses something called direct impingement, I think it's called, something like that. Basically what it means, it doesn't have a gas piston. The gas directly is funneled into the bolt, so the gas just pushes the bolt. There's no other parts used to push the bolt. The gas just pushes the bolt itself. Now why does that get more dirty easier? Well, basically you might already know, when you fire a gun, there's going to be like gases and stuff, and the gunpowder inside the bullet, of course the bullet explodes inside the gun, so that's how the bullet flies out of the gun. And of course there's going to be gas and debris, and if you use the gas to directly push the bolt, of course it's going to get dirty way easier. So I don't really know much about the the amount of bullets shot that you need to clean the gun, but just know that you need to clean this thing way more than other guns because of the direct impingement system. Now, I think in the more later versions of the AR platform, like the M4 and the AR-15, I think that system it's still basically the same thing, but it has been improved on, so it doesn't get as sturdy as the M16. And of course, the M16 also has newer improved versions like the A4, which I think is the newest one. So yeah, that's basically about it for this video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.